to give us a great demonstration. First of all, let's make Amali and her keepers feel very welcome. Amali's shape is the pink flower. So what we're going to do is we're going to get Amali into position, and when she hears the cue, which is the whistle blown twice, hopefully, this wasn't the plan, hopefully she'll get out of the water, find her shape and touch her nose to that shape on cue. So if she does and she touches her nose to the pink flower, I ask you all to give her a big round of applause. So where a behaviour like this comes in handy is often our seals will socialise in larger groups throughout the day or overnight. When it comes to separating, it can be a little bit confusing for our seals to understand which trainer to go to. So that's when we can introduce all of the shapes, blow the whistle twice, and hopefully each seal will move to their shape on cue. So you would have noticed we shuffled the shapes around a little bit. We also introduced some extras, and that's just to ensure that Amali isn't targeting a specific trainer or the keeper with the fish, but is going to her shape. I think we'll give it a go with all 6 shapes now. Beautiful job from Amali. So shape discrimination is a behaviour that all of the seals here are either learning or have learnt. So all the shapes you see here are shapes that belong to other seals here at Seals for the Wild. Thank you very much, Amali and Keeper Lindsay. But the males, when fully grown, can grow between 300 and 400 kilos. So although Moby looks a lot bigger than Amali, he's still only weighing about 170 kilos at the moment, so he does have a lot of growing to do ahead of him. Let's make Moby and Keeper Dana feel welcome. Moby's out here to show us a training session as well. However, this training session looks a little bit different. So not only can we train our animals problem-solving behaviours that allow us to better manage them, like what we saw with Amali, we can also train them behaviours that allow them to participate in their own daily health care. So these are known as husbandry or cooperative care behaviours, and these are the behaviours we teach our animals very early on. So Moby's out here this morning to do a little bit of a health check. So this here, what he's supposed to be doing is holding his flipper nice and still so we can have a nice look at the underside. This is for us to check if there's any grazes or abrasions, things like that. So they walk along lots of different surfaces every day. It's very important for us to check the underside of their flippers and their bodies daily. So training behaviours can take a lot of time and trust. Some behaviours can take a few weeks to train. Some can even take a few years. Just depends on the complexity of the behaviour, the motivation levels of the seals, and time availability of the keepers, of course. So this here is a lie down behaviour, so pretty self-explanatory, asking the seal to lie down on cue. However, this is also can be progressed to do a full body inspection. So just like this. So getting Moby to stay nice and still while we have the opportunity to put a bit of pressure along different points of his body, looking for any signs of him flinching or looking uncomfortable, heat in areas where it shouldn't be, all those types of things. Can also progress this behaviour to then teach Moby to lie on his back on cue. Similar, giving us the opportunity to have a nice look at the underside of his body as well. So you can see Dana's doing a bit of tactile as well, another behaviour that would be trained in addition to that rollover behaviour. I think Moby's doing a great job with his health check, don't we think? Thank you very much, Moby and Dana. So these behaviours are just some of the husbandry or cooperative care behaviours. Taronga about 16 years ago and has mothered a few pups of her own, which is very important for that breeding program of this endangered species. Let's give a nice warm welcome to Nala. So now, as you all have learned, a very important part of caring for our seals does involve teaching them behaviours. And our seals, they won't do anything they don't want to do. Behaviour all takes time and trust to train. So So we can train them those very important but sometimes more simple behaviours like asking Nala to open her mouth. So we can have a nice look at all those teeth and gums. Beautiful. Or we can also train more high energy and complex behaviours that also can show off their natural abilities. And that is what Nala's out here to show us all this morning. So she's going to be showing us what we call a high bow, where she leaps out of the water and touches her nose on that buoy hanging in the centre there. But she's not going to make it from where she was, so we'll get her into position, give her a nice run up. And for this, I'm going to need your help. On the count of 3, I ask you all to yell, jump Nala, as loud as you can. Do you think we can do it? All right, jump Nala on 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, I thought you guys did a great job, but as you can see, Nala only has little ears. Let's ask her. Nala, was that loud enough for you?
Nala.
She said no. Let's try it again. Maybe this time even throw your hands up in the air as well. Sometimes that helps. Jump Nala on 3. 1, 2, 3. A beautiful jump from Nala. Thank you all for your help. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you very much, Nala and Keeper Lindsay. So jumping out of the water like this is really similar to a natural behaviour known as sharking. So his name is Murphy, and Californian sea lions native to the west coast of North America, all the way from Canada down to Mexico. However, Murphy, he relocated to us from a zoo in Queensland when he was just a young seal. Murphy is now our eldest seal. He'll be turning 22 at the end of this year. He's also currently the largest, weighing 230 kilos. Let's put our hands together for Murphy. Did you know we all actually have something in common with Murphy? Have a look at your hand. And now let's have a look at Murphy's front flipper. The bone structure in our hands and Murphy's front flippers are actually the same. Although those flippers may look a little bit awkward, they do allow eared seals like Murphy to move around on land with quite some ease. So take note as he walks up that part of the cliff there. So you can see how he supports his body weight on the front flippers and tucks his rear flippers underneath him. So the flippers, they're great on land, however, being a seal, of course it is in the water, we really see them do their best work. What Murphy's showing us here is a natural behaviour known as bowing or porpoising, and it is an energy efficient way seals can move through the water quickly when escaping from predators or catching up to prey. So each time Murphy's leaping out of the water, he was taking a quick breath of air, meaning he can maintain those fast speeds as he doesn't have to stop to take a breath. Seals, they are great predators out there in our oceans. However, of course, there are other predators out there. One in particular that is very important for a healthy ecosystem, but often very misunderstood. Murphy's giving us a bit of a hint as to what predator I'm talking about. Yell it out if you know what that looks like. That's right, there are sharks out there. Although Murphy does a great shark impersonation though, what he's actually showing us is another natural behaviour, one that seals use to cool down. So you might not be able to tell from where you're sitting, but Murphy's actually covered in a really thick layer of fur, which is great at keeping him nice and warm and keeping all that body heat in. But it's only those naked and hairless flippers that allow the heat to escape. So Murphy can stick one of his flippers out of the water, catch a nice breeze and cool down his whole body just like that. Murphy's front flippers are also incredibly strong, and he can support his entire body weight of 230 kilos on just those 2 front flippers. Very impressive indeed. Those flippers are good for one more thing though, and that's a big wave goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Murphy and Keeper Dana.
Say bye-bye.
We really appreciate you all making your way out here this morning. However, stay in your seat.